The Shadows Beneath intro. Ben and his sister Kate have inherited their late grandmother's house, a large, weathered mansion on the outskirts of town. The house is filled with strange relics, old books, and antique furniture, but the most unnerving thing is the basement, a place their grandmother had always warned them never to enter. Despite the warnings, strange noises and mysterious shadows that creep up from the basement force them to investigate, uncovering dark secrets that should have stayed buried. Chapter 1. The Inheritance. Ben and Kate arrive at the house, still mourning their grandmother's passing. The house is as eerie as they remember, but nostalgia leads them to explore the old rooms. Among their grandmother's belongings, they find strange items, ancient books, odd symbols, carved into wood, and peculiar trinkets. Kate remembers their grandmother's warning to never enter the basement, but when they hear noises coming from below, Ben becomes curious. They find an old, rusted key labeled basement, and against Kate's protests, Ben takes it. Chapter 2. The First Descent. The basement door creaks open, revealing a staircase leading down into the dark. The air grows colder with every step. As they reach the bottom, the walls seem to close in around them, and the light from their flashlights flickers. At first glance, the basement appears to be just a storage area for old furniture and boxes. But then, Kate spots strange symbols etched into the floor and walls, similar to the ones they saw upstairs. They find a heavy wooden chest bound in iron, and inside is a single black book bound in leather. They don't open it, but the moment they touch it, the lights go out and they hear whispering voices. Chapter 3. The Book's Secrets. The next morning, Ben and Kate try to shake off the strange experience, but both feel an oppressive presence in the house. They decide to open the black book. It's written in an ancient language, but there are sections written in their grandmother's handwriting. She describes rituals, protective spells, and most disturbingly, a dark force trapped beneath the house, a force that had been sealed away by their ancestors. Their grandmother had been the last in a long line of protectors, and now that she was gone, the seal was weakening. Chapter 4. The Shadows Rise. As night falls, the whispers grow louder, and the shadows seem to move on their own. Ben becomes obsessed with the book, trying to understand the rituals described. Kate, meanwhile, feels like she's being watched. Doors open on their own, objects move across the room, and dark figures flicker at the edges of their vision. The basement door, once locked, now swings open on its own, and they begin hearing heavy footsteps below. The house is no longer safe. Chapter 5. The Ritual. Ben realizes that their grandmother's final notes were instructions on how to reseal the dark force. They need specific items from around the house to complete the ritual. But as they gather them, the shadows become bolder, attacking them physically, leaving deep scratches and bruises. They descend into the basement once more to complete the ritual. As they prepare to perform the incantation, the shadows close in, whispering their names. The air is thick with dread, and time feels like it's running out. Chapter 6. The Final Confrontation. As they perform the ritual, the ground beneath the basement begins to tremble. The shadows take form, humanoid but twisted, trying to stop them. The force, once trapped, is now attempting to break free, lashing out at Ben and Kate. In a desperate moment, Kate takes the black book and begins reading aloud the final words of the incantation, while Ben holds off the shadowy figures. With a final shout, the shadows retreat, and the house falls silent. The book crumbles to dust in Kate's hands, and they realize that the dark force has been resealed, at least for now. Epilogue: Ben and Kate leave the house, knowing they can never return. The mansion stands empty, but they feel its watchful presence, as though the shadows are waiting. They drive away, unsure of what they have truly vanquished, or if they only delayed the inevitable.